Hello everybody, we are back for the final video. Hey guys, so we're in Filmora right now. I've not used it before, so I decided to go through the little step by step. I'm on a different computer. Usually I would just use something like iMovie for simple videos. So I'm gonna go and get what we had made in anime in the last video, and I am going to import it in here. Okay, that is fine. So we have the moving splash screen, but right now we do not have any sound. I always wanted sound in it, but we've just been doing step by step. So I had gone on this cool website. They are linked in the description, where I got a lot of sound effects. And this part of the video, we're really just finishing things off. So I'd got all of these sound effects that I thought could complement the splash screen, and I'm just trying them out, really. I want to see how they sound with it. And I want it to suit, so the S kind of tilts, and I think I found a sound that supports that pretty well. And what you're going to see a lot through this video is me just playing it back. And I touched on the importance of going over things and just trying them out in the last video, because it can really help just give you perspective on what you want to do next. And I am just shortening this sound, and I'm really trying to time it, because right here is where the ear drops down. So I want the sound that I've chosen for the ear to drop down to come in. This kind of whoosh sound. And I renamed it just so I knew what I was looking for. So now we have the S making a sound. We have the ear. And I had downloaded a lot just because when I heard things I liked, I thought it was just going to be easier for me to download them first and sift through them later and just try different things. And that's what I have done. And right now, I'm just going for it. I think I'm going to do a video about my experience with Filmora9. I really like it so far. I mean, I have Premiere Pro, but the kind of projects I usually do, the kind of clients I usually have, don't usually require me to have too much advanced software. Videos are something I do, but not primarily. So something like this, and before I had moved to a PC, iMovie was working fine for me. When usually I just have to cut together images and clips and sound, simple's better. So back to what I'm doing right now. I put in a little bit of sound as a background. I'd found a kind of background sound, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it. So again, I just tried it out. In the final version, I'd end up cutting it, but I guess I found it too much. Right now I have simple sounds, like the little tilting sound of the S, like it's kind of shifting, like a little bit shifting back into place, slowly cranking. The J, a click. It is all about design. I wanted to get that in there. So this is when I decided, why don't I actually have SJ design? This isn't a new idea. I always wondered if I'd want that to appear after the logo, especially in a splash screen setting. And I just wasn't sure how. So I'm just spending time trying it out. And I do have the habit of really just wanting to feel things, see things for myself. That's how I've always worked. So I do spend time just trying all the different options available. I'm also just trying out Filmora. I did find myself having more time of just doing this and just looking around and thinking or stopping, because this is a brand new program for me that I'm using. And I think I was just having a little fun exploring, to be honest. If I was doing this on the usual program, I know it like the back of my hand. I know where everything is. I'm not finding out new things. What I like about Filmora is it brought in all of my fonts, all the custom ones I had bought as well and that I've used. So that was cool. I don't think iMovie did that by default. It had a certain amount that you could use, and you use them. So I'm toying around with SJ Design. I chose to use a pretty basic sans serif font. Sans serif is just like, the way I remember it is the T's don't have little arms and feet and like the L's. It's just more modern usually. They don't have like it's not as traditional. Yeah, I don't really want the text to be too much. I still want it to be moving and do something. So right now I am looking at the options for animating the text, and the only way to do that is to see what they are. So I'm going through all of them one by one, just seeing what would happen to them. And right now I'm just looking at the previews, and I just want it to complement everything else that's going on. As you have seen, I had already made all the logo moving elements without considering having the wording here. I have decided to put the text here now, so it's an after thing I'm doing, but I want them still to complement each other. So if you find yourself doing this, just remember, I would recommend do your due diligence. Check them all out. I know I've said this a few times, but I think I've in the past been eager to just see the end result, and I haven't spent time to seeing what works. And I've overlooked things that could have worked better. And sometimes I've even gone back to a project and updated it. And I'm like, I should have just put in that little extra time, little extra effort there, and it would have helped me. So I'm going to save this for now. I've got my sounds in, guys. I have the animated logo. And I have now put in the text. And I'm writing with name here because I'm already thinking in my head I'm going to want a version that doesn't have any text. For whatever reason, it may not be appropriate for me to have it with text, but it may be appropriate with me to have it without it one time. I don't have that yet, a time where I could imagine, but it's going to be longer for me to go back and do it. There we go. There we have it. We have the first version with them all coming together. And I like this one because it's like the text got to do something, but it wasn't like flying, zooming in from any direction. It wasn't, I feel, too distracting. And I even made sure that the text would fade away to leave just the image of the logo in the end. So now I'm just doing a couple of tweaks, because what I realized is, at this point I was thinking, is it a little too short? Like, do people have time to read the text? And that's why I pulled it back and I made it a little longer, because the default is longer than I have it on screen. It's still pretty brief, but I just wanted to try it out. I mean, most places this will show up. SJ Design will be titled or highlighted anyways. So it's not like it's the only place people would see the name. But you still don't want people thinking, wait a minute, what was that? The whole point of a logo is to be clear. You're just trying to give someone a window into what you're about, your brand, whatever, in a short amount of time. Now, splash screen, you're going to be on a page with this title on it, which I'm aware of, but I still don't want people feeling like they need to do a double take. But guys, let me know. I mean, you've seen the splash screen a few times now. As you see, I'm making it a little longer again, but let me know how you felt. Did you feel like you had to double take? You wanted a little more time? It's all good things to know. And, you know, if you have someone you trust to give feedback, I'd go for it. Why did I say someone you trust? I guess certain feedback. I like constructive criticism, or criticism even if it's just I don't like it, because it usually pushes me to figure out what's not working. Because if someone doesn't like something, it's because something is not working. If you just ask someone that tells you they like everything, it doesn't even mean they're being dishonest, but it's like I could usually see when something is not quite right. And it really helps when someone gives a different opinion. So this will probably happen a few times. But I've gone back in and I'm just trying a different version for the text. I'm keeping the original. But I just wanted to try something different. I actually preferred this. I think this one's called Domino effect that's going on with the text. I did prefer it, but I think in the end, and you'll see by the time you've seen this splash screen a few times, if you've seen my other 2 videos on this, part 1 where we look into Photoshop, part 2 when we are in Animate, and then here part 3 when we're on Filmora and we're adding sound. So I like this one and I still have this version, but I just felt like the letters were doing a bit too much compared to what the actual image was doing, the actual animation, and it's more so about that. So that's why I didn't end on that. But guys, this is where we've got to. We're at the very end. I just like to thank you all for checking out my first 3 videos. This is my first video on my YouTube page. I will be doing more in-depth videos. I'll be looking at more of my projects, client work. I will be delving more into the programs. And yeah, I just wanted to do my first videos, and I thought, why not start at the beginning, which is making my splash screen for my brand new YouTube channel. So we're just going to look at the final product one more time.